Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and always right, as always. So this tweet is carrying the Pokemon community right now. What is your most obscure Pokemon fact? People are dropping crazy stuff, going crazy viral, and then we have the Erika being a dead ghost-type gym leader theory. Oh god, it just gets dumber every day with the Pokemon community. What is this? Erika was originally the ghost-type gym leader of Lavender Town and was implied to actually be a corpse being moved by her ghost Pokemon by the fact she wears her yukata is folded. Wait, the fact she wears her yukata is folded. I can't. I've been up like 16 hours straight playing Ashes of Creation, but there's like no way this is correct, right? Either way, her yukata is folded right side over left, which in Japanese tradition is only done for dressing corpses for funerals. So here we can see from her right side to her left is where like the cloth folds over, as opposed to the other way for her yellow sprites. I mean, it's already debunked in the sprites that, yeah, something was overlooked in development or not properly represented in pixel art. And then people went crazy for it, and maybe it got like a little bit of notice, and then Game Freak went, no, why are you guys thinking that? It was never meant to be that way. We're gonna fix it. Sorry about that. But my problem with this is that it is not a fact. This is never suggested anywhere in any of Game Freak's media, beta, early access, early development, or anything. It is just a theory. It is not a fact. And people are out here trying to promote his fact, and then they get attention for it. So, Verlisify comes in. This is completely false as a Pokemon fact. It's a loose theory, at best. And guess what? That pissed off the Pokemon community. You touching grass is completely false and a loose theory at best. And then we see how a majority of the Pokemon community is just evil now. You get bullied and brigaded for having integrity and dismissing misinformation by covering the truth. The truth is not welcome. And that's like another problem I have with the Pokemon community is like, if they could be honest for a second, then it all falls apart. So yeah, you know, oh god, a furry. What does that have to do anything about? You're literally Verlisify. You have no bearing on any conversation. I saw multiple comments like that, like, oh, if Verlisify says it's wrong, then that means it's objectively right. Like, these people are so ill and deranged that covering a fact, they just cannot accept it. So you complain in every single Pokemon post made by the community on this website. Not my fault. The community is filled with toxic liars that can't get anything right about Pokemon. And I already blocked like a dozen comments, so I don't see them anymore. And the same thing happened with Sarina, that I went, no, Sarina doesn't have any adult implications. Here's the truth with its actual Pokemon lore. Please stop lying and saying these things are facts about Pokemon, because you guys are just that toxic. And for some reason, you want to project mature themes onto Pokemon. Absolute freaks. But how is Verlisify always right? Well, because we have someone debunking this fully. 43,000 people are taking a theory at face value. But when I get upset about it, people just hate on me. I'm a Gen 1 development enthusiast, so I will now make a thread debunking this. So it's also this garbage that's been spread by other Poketubers, influencers, just complete unfounded nonsense getting checked by this person. And it also started from this post. Oh, Agatha originally had this team, so Ghost was going to be for Erika. And like I said initially, it's just one of the most loose theories imaginable. Her closed eyes and blank expression take on a new meaning. The levitating Pokeball suggests supernatural powers. But in her early concept art, she has her eyes open right there. Now her garment is being worn the wrong way. Who knows what that could mean, but it doesn't mean like, oh, that one subtle hint means that she's a corpse being controlled by ghost types because she's supposed to be the spooky ghost gym leader. So Erika was never designed as a ghost leader. Her sprite just looks weird, and her concept art shows she is very much alive. So yeah, there's her concept art with her being alive. The garment is kind of weird, but let's go deeper. Ghost was a very late type added to Generation 1 according to the internal list. So again, this theory actually didn't go into any development or beta or anything like that. They really just saw this sprite and they thought, oh, I'm onto something because her garment is backwards and she's levitating a Pokeball, even though there's all kinds of weird stuff that happens in early Pokemon. Doesn't mean ghosts. Agatha originally wasn't even a ghost trainer because Agatha existed before ghost-type Pokemon were added to the game. And that's where that other post breaks down. It's not that Erika was supposed to be the ghost gym leader instead of Agatha. Ghost didn't exist for either of them, which is why Agatha's team had evolutions and some other stuff. So here are Agatha and Erika's original teams in 2 prototype builds. So it's like multiple builds. She was always meant to be grass. Boom, nail in the coffin right there. Pokemon community's toxic idiots. Who would have guessed? This is also why ghost types are so rare. Channelers were the last regular trainer class to be added to the game. Ghastly Line was added early on, but changed typing last minute. Agatha was a last minute change to Ghost. Erika's sprite was an error and fixed in yellow. And that was like my initial thing from this post, where it was like, yeah, but they fixed it. It's an error. I mean, think about it. Pokemon was developed by some dudes in the 90s. Do you think they're going to know every cultural tradition, especially when it comes to women's garments? They might have like heard about it in school or forgotten about it, or maybe it's actually wasn't as super culturally well known to just everyone, unless it's something you personally come across in your life, which might not have had any emphasis to them. It was simply an error, and then there's nothing else to support it anywhere. Wow, this blew up. I hate it. I worked really hard on this boss fight in my ROM hack. Alright, so that was how they finished it. They were just like, sprite was fixed, here's all the teams debunking you. Go check out my ROM hack, GG easy. I thought the floating Pokeball is still the elephant in the room, like having psychic powers. Sabrina doesn't have a floating ball in her sprite, neither does Agatha. I guess we can actually do it in a different way to debunk it. Flashbang warning? She has a whip, which actually makes it even crazier because of all the people that could control their Pokemon through psychic means, she has one of the physical means of doing it. That might have some weird implications for like theories and stuff. And yeah, she has a Venomoth as well. Gold, Silver, and Crystal? She has some kind of like woo-woo stance. No levitating Pokeballs just yet. And then in the remake is when she's finally levitating a Pokeball. So maybe this is where it comes from. Also in the anime, the Pokeball just kind of floats out, I believe. I don't think that that's a fabricated memory. Now there is the Psychic Trainer class, but we're talking about Psychics instead of Ghosts. So we're jumping that. We're just like, well, Psychic, Supernatural, Possession. Just like that, even though there's like no indication anywhere else that like ghost-type Pokemon will have the influence to levitate a trainer's Pokeball or control them as some kind of corpse puppet. And there's nothing else in her sprite to suggest it, like any other essence or aura or woo-woo coming off. It was blatantly a stupid theory. It doesn't actually reference any development notes where this was a possibility or even intended to be a thing at once. They just threw this theory out there as fact. It was interesting enough to get the idiots of the Pokemon community to fall for it. And then Zoomers don't care about the truth. They'll actually bully you if you try to present them the truth in response to what they want to be real. And then toxicity of the Pokemon community and misinformation spreads out of control. Out of curiosity, was the source of this art plus the teams Helix Chamber? They have the archives of that stuff. Prototype stuff leaked around the Gold, Silver, Crystal Space World demo. We got the GOAT. Tell me Verlisify, always right. And then that's kind of it. Wonder if during development concept art for Sabrina and Erika just got swapped. Oh, bro, just take the L. There's even less to support that Erika was supposed to be Sabrina. Why does the Pokeball do that? I don't know. Ask Junichi Masuda. Kind of sad this misinformation got widespread, but when I say it, get brigaded and hated on. How these newbies fell for the bait because everyone's stupid, and it's not just newbies. Millennials love eating up fake Pokemon trivia. That was the whole thing that like launched channels back in the day. Lavender Town Syndrome, Coma Theory. Pokemon community has always been stupid for the fake stuff. And this is something I thought. I bet all the pencil art was sketched on a different paper and then copied to another one with vegetable tracing paper, and then when you trace it back to a cleaner paper, most time it's inverted, and then that could swap it around and they forgot. That tracks. Maybe she was going to be facing the other way, they didn't like that, and they just mirrored her around as well, and they forgot about the little subtleties of the garment because of that. And then, while I certainly don't believe this rumor, you saying I'm a Gen 1 dev enthusiast, like that gives you any kind of legitimate authority or expertise on the subject, is amusing, and then gets liked, and this idiot already has me blocked. So this is what I mean, like, the Pokemon community is just the craziest funnel for worthless people. This toxic, hateful, negative people, and I'm the only one against it. And then everyone has to just project that on me and be like, oh, Verlisify is just so negative about everything. It's like, yes, because you guys are the losers, I'm the one debunking you. Verlisify always right every time, hasn't been debunked, and I spoil your fun. Because yeah, Wolflick's a cheater, I'm not going to let you believe your lies because I love Pokemon too much. How about we just enjoy it for what it is and the actual truth? Yes, being an enthusiast of someone makes you more informed, and if you can debunk people on the fly instantly like this, it actually proves your expertise on the matter, because this person dug deeper than the original theory did, and already knows all these other things. That's the thing about being an enthusiast. If you really dedicate to it, yes, you actually gain an expertise, and it's guaranteed this guy will breakdance on you with every possible fact about Gen 1 and the development, because you actually know nothing and you're an idiot. But you're upset. You're like, oh, someone else figured this out instead of me. This weirdo's ego is so crazy, it can't handle someone having a fact about Pokemon over them. Why? See, like, they couldn't solve the case, and now they're upset about it. And then other people, because like, yeah, see, the Pokemon community only knows hate and toxicity. Crazy. So yeah, this thread is really cool and will provide content for every PokeTuber for years to come, but also has led to insane amounts of misinformation. Probably more lies than actual Pokemon facts in this thread when you break it down. But there we go. Misinformation getting handled. And then people are like, but you have to be, oh, you make it about yourself because you're a narcissist. I was directly attacked for the truth. And then someone that isn't Verlisify gets truth out there, and they're allowed to get away with it. The hypocrisy, I hate it. I just got to keep being right all the time, and people hate it because they can't get anything on me. Freaks in the Pokemon community can't be honest for a moment in their life, or else the cognitive dissonance makes them realize they're worthless. And we can't have that now, can we? So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.